Hello there, and welcome. You're very welcome. My name is Andy Line, and this is Chess Please. You are, as I mentioned, more than welcome. If this is your first time here, you might not know what's going on. What we're going to do is we're going to play some pretty amateur to novice chess and try to get a little better each time. Today's episode in particular, we're going to look at the Queen's Gambit. The opening, the Gambit, not the show. So you'll actually see that self-same Gambit is on your screens at the moment. It's this position here. So this is just an analysis board. This isn't a live game. But to take you back to the very start, Queen's Gambit kicks off like this. So it starts with d4, i.e. the Queen's pawn, which I think is where the name comes from. There's no guarantees on that though. And then normally that is almost always met with d5, at least at my level anyway. And then the next move is c4. And that's the basis of the Queen's Gambit. All variants kind of come after this. There's a couple of things that black can do. The Gambit being obviously that this pawn here is being gambled or being gambited. And generally what happens after this is they can either take, and if they do take, which is the Gambit accepted, then what we do is this, and then generally just have a good platform to build off here. This fella's a little isolated. That's kind of best case scenario. Well, actually, we'll find out tonight. I watched a 5-minute video on this today, so we'll see how that goes. They can also decline it, which is just not take, and build the tension to an unbearable degree. And there's things we can do here as well. Generally just sort of developing. They'll probably do something like this. We'll do this. And we'll go from there. But that's the basics of it. We'll see how it plays out. In general, the idea is you might lose this pawn. Depending on how they play, depending on what they do, there is potential that you won't. They'll just defend it to the hilt. Should they take here. But if they do that, we're hoping that they'll spend enough time doing that. That moves like this, and then potentially something like that can happen in time, so that it's worth the gambit for ourselves. That's the theory. Let's get into the practice. So that will look a little something like this. Again, same as we're going to go and we're just going to play some games of chess. We're going to play the 15-minute time control with 10-second bonus time or increment time. This is my favorite time control, I have to say. I have been playing a few 10-minute games these days. The incremental time, if you are playing any games of chess, is an absolute bonus, because actually what it does when you're kind of just playing oot and about, what happens is you can sort of get distracted for a couple of seconds if something in your real life happens, which I don't believe is the purpose of why they added these increments. That incremental time you can gain back that time. It's not like a lost resource, so that's why I like to play it. I'm wearing the funny hat again. It's getting less and less funny each time I wear it. The real reason, Jay, is the barbers are still closed here, and the hair has just, it's not going away. There's more and more of it every second. Every second there's more hair upon my head. And this is the only way to contain it. So that's what you're here for. Hair tips. If you're stopping by, feel free to say hello in the old chatterino. I got it here over on the right hand side, which is why I'm showing my profile here. And I'll probably say hello back. I might even type hello back as well, because I forget that you can hear. Enough bluster. It's time for some chess. Let's play. By the way, I should mention, this is the Queen's Gambit episode. If we are the black pieces, which we are for this game, it might not happen for us. But generally you can get a couple of... maybe they're going to play the Queen's Gambit, which would be a nice little... bonus. I didn't plan any of this. Please play the Queen's Gambit. Nope. Play a different opening. That's fine. We'll just play a normal game of chess here. The pressure's off. I don't need to know anything about the Queen's Gambit. Let's just develop like a normal person. We're playing Ragadano from Germany. His profile pick is a guitar, so he might be a little careless with his moves if he's a good for nothing musician. Probably not true though. Might not even be him. It looks like him, and it looks like a pretty big stage. So Ragadano has maybe achieved more than I will ever achieve. And if that's the case, fair play to him. Fair bloody play to him. It's taking a sweet time. He was probably expecting to play the Queen's Gambit and then completely forgot, which I did earlier when I was trying to practice. Just got the white pieces, didn't play the Queen's Gambit. Wasted some time. On the ratings front, if you have been here before, you will notice that we are gunning. We're striving for 1400. That's a strange move. Knight in there already. That's a weird one. Yeah, we're gunning for that 1400 rating. We're in the 1300s. We briefly kissed the 1400s, but we got kicked rudely back out. And after some rocky starts, we have now gotten back to striking distance. I think we're in the 1370s now after a decent week. Let's just do this, I think, for now. Yeah, that sounds good. Just puts pressure on this pawn. This is a weird knight move. This might be some funky opening. And I think at this level, which is not unbelievable beginner, but still pretty beginnery, you'll often find people have these pet openings. You know, openings that they sort of just know inside and out, and they know a couple of traps in that opening as well, which is which can be annoying to face. Oftentimes they're picked because they're very trap heavy, a trap house, if you will, and there's no possible way to know all of them. So in that regard, I'm just going to develop like a normal person. I'm not going to do anything crazy, just going to get my pieces out. Frees up the bishop, defends his pawn, defends his bishop. What a move. And they've played pretty quickly again here. I'm going to offer a trade of bishops here. So I can put my bishop, realistically, there's two squares, sorry, this dark square bishop. I can put it here or here. Everywhere else it just gets taken straight away. Here it's under threat by the bishop, but that's fine because I'll take back with the pawn, and then the pawn also controls this key square, which this knight might be hankering for. And that's the only reason I'm picking it over this one. This one is a pretty good square as well. Stops the fork of the knight to the queen there. So yeah. In other news, it's another Tuesday in February. Hope everyone's having a good week. It's incredibly snowy here in Ireland, but not in any sort of satisfactory way. It's yeah, it just keeps snowing and not a jot of it is sticking. So in that regard, it's barely snowing, and none of the fun stuff of snow happens. Although that said, none of the shite stuff of snow happens as well. Yeah, snow massively overrated, I might say. Good for 3 days. 3 days of snow, gorgeous. You won't need any more in your life. Beyond that, it's epoxy. Just cold, roads closed. Not roads closed. Roads just shite. And yeah, that's where I stand on snow. Good for cleaning your runners. If you've ever noticed that, a little walk in the snow, and your runners will be like they were 2 years ago, before you even own them. Right, let's see what's going on here. Pretty by the numbers game thus far. I might just do something like this. Mainly because knight or bishop might be eyeing up this sort of square, which I don't want. Ideally, we eventually want to get our knight maybe in here if this lad fucks off or goes away. I don't think there's any children that watch these streams, but if there are, get a better chess teacher. But yeah, if this knight goes away, we're gonna cruise right into this square here, and that'll be a nice little home for our knight. Not quite an outpost square. There's still a couple of ways to jimmy him out of there, but we'll cross those bridges when we get there. Probably should have thought about this move a little bit more, but it's actually all right. So obviously threat here is the queen. I'm thinking of just pushing this pawn for and offering a trade of queens. I don't really know why though. Potentially something like this. I kind of want to maybe look at trapping this queen if we can. Now this queen is defended by the knight here, but this would be kind of a backwards move, which is why I didn't push this. And yeah, sometimes the queen, if it gets stuck on one side of the board and there's a few other pieces, particularly rooks, it can just sort of run out of escape squares. Now this queen is in no danger of that right now, but we want to sort of put the squeeze on just to make it a little uncomfortable. So bishop takes there. We're pretty happy with that. My bishop wasn't great here. I mean, nice central position, but very defensive. That was okay. But I think it was always destined to meet its maker there. And now we get to, as I say, undouble these pawns. And we get to double these ones, but slightly more centralized. So I think I'll take that as a result. There's an attack on this pawn here, which I'm sure they've taken under consideration. I think this pawn might be amply defended by these folks here. So there's a pawn child here, by the way. Not quite the pawn willy. We'd need another one up there for the pawn willy. And this is if you don't already know it. But yeah, not quite a pawn willy. Pawn willy's a little harder because you need to hoosh over one of the flank pawns to get its full extension. So actually, as I mentioned it, so I did mention this knight was kind of surplus to requirements, but actually seeing as they've initiated, no, that wouldn't be right. I was thinking of taking with the knight here, just a bit more of advancement, but no, this pawn pushes, this knight's covering, they're forked, so absolutely forked. So now which way do I capture? If I capture this way, that's offering a queen trade, which I would be alright with in this case. I think we've enough attacking options, we've enough open lines for our pieces that queens off the board we might have a slight advantage. That's the theory anyway. It's also a tempo move. Tempo, something we've talked about a little bit on the show before. But what it is it's like a tempo is a unit of time. How long it takes you to make a move, as in one move, is a tempo. And you can kind of talk about things like how long it takes to do certain operations in a tempo cost. So is it 3 tempos if you need to get your king castled? So when you say you make a move with tempo, oftentimes what that is referring to is you've made a move that your opponent sort of has to respond to. And then they'll have to make that kind of a defensive or an evasive maneuver like they did here. And from that, you get more time in the bank, this fictional bank. In this case, not so much, because they've actually had a mild counterattack. This pawn isn't very, very strong. But that is okay because of what I want to do here. Again, knight defending this square, that's fine. We'll take back with the bishop. Bishop in a pretty healthy spot thereafter. They decide not to take. Trying to see if there's anything hugely morally objectionable about that move. I don't believe there is. Just trying to look for anything. Well, where is this? Not going to go here or here. Both are fine. So I might just get this rook on a more open file. Moved it over here initially because of the queen kind of struck over on the queen side, but and it was also an attack on this pawn, which isn't happening. They're offering a trade of rooks. I say let them trade. And what we'll do, mildew, is, I think, what do I want to do here? So this queen needs to be a little more in the game, and I'm okay with that. I'm sort of thinking queen here. They might take, we'll take back. Queen might take here. But if my queen can land in here, that's a nasty position for them to be in. It might not shake down like that. Let's see how it goes. My computer fan is having a right old go of it today. Apologies if that's coming through. But it's a 3-year-old laptop. It's a 4-year-old laptop. And I think it was a refurbishment jobbing. So it doesn't owe me a thing. Tries its best. Still feels like we're together, Maria. You remind me of the West Side Story. Okay, rook is taken. We saw this happening. We saw this coming. That is not to say that we've calculated all this right. So I'm going to take back because we are actually in check. Queen could storm on in here, which wouldn't actually mind. It's actually a little bit more of a toothless threat. As it stands, that could all change a little too quickly for my liking. I had a steak sandwich for dinner this evening from Elephant to Castle. Okay, queen takes here again. I've no qualms with that. I've no beef whatsoever. So this was the plan. Queen in there, threatens here. This queen, a little bit isolated. It's a solo attacker. This knight could come in here and eventually start to cause problems, but let's try to make bigger, louder problems for white here. Hey Laura, it's me. Alright then. So I think we can at least get our pawn back here. Do we want to be a little bit greedier? Do you know what? I think we might want to be a little bit greedier. Again, there might be some chess enthusiasts at home screaming no behind shielded eyes and sending their children to bed. And they might not be wrong, but I live on the edge. Is even on Dawnshire. I mean, queen can put some kind of check down here, but this is a nice safe square. I'd say this is a nice safe square for our king, who's a very handsome king, very fair to his people. Und yeah, I mean, I think knight can come down here for a quick check, but let me just take. So it's nasty enough. Knight there is not bad at all. So knight here. The idea being just get any more pieces over here. This one's attacking my queen like this. I don't know why. I feel like a sacrifice here. There's a knight take there. Is the move. Because then rook will have to take back, which means our initial plan of doing this is still verily on the cards. So I think they are up a pawn. When did that happen, by the way? Those sort of open the door to let the queen back into town. But actually, there isn't a huge amount of great squares for me. So let's just try and think this out. We've got a bit of time. Rook takes, rook takes, queen takes, check. There's only one move really, which is there. At which point we can it kind of does sort of peter out. Peter Parker. So let's bide our time a little bit more And does anything nasty happen if we put our queen there? Let's pop it back down. Let me see. If I put my queen here. No checks we can do that safely. Right. We're going for it. We're going hell for leather. Thinking we can at least get this knight back potentially. So the idea here is we're threatening mate. Takes. We take the knight. That's check. And then also, we might have bitten off more than we can do here. But that no guarantee they'll play stupendously accurately either. Actually, if yeah, it's a good move. I think actually this might be alright. This might be alright. So we still have a check here, which I don't know if that does us much good. Maria, you remind me of the West Side Story. Growing up in Spanish Harlem. She living the life just like a movie star. Oh, Maria, living love in Eastern love. I think that's a blunder. I think this is going to be checkmate. Let me just check it. Can't go there, can't go there. And that's mate. Come on, Ireland. Up the bloody lads and lassies. We did it. And everybody in between. Come on. Right. That was a nice short game. Feel like we didn't do our thing of the Queen's Gambit. I'm going to try get a little bit of analysis. Don't think I paid for this. Let me see. If I do this, what do you all see? Nothing happening? Okay. What I want to see is if you can see this analysis. So, basically there are moves that are off your screen that you won't be able to see. When they've got the little star, that means that was the best move available according to the engine. When they've got this little, I think that's an inaccuracy. You'll probably see that little tick is just good. That's a fine move, but there were better ones out there, and they'll actually point to what the better one is. Another best move. So again, generally in the opening you'll find a lot of best moves. That move, I think that thumbs up is like pretty good, like excellent, but not the best. Just want to see where the blunders were. This is all fine. That's okay. That's an inaccuracy. Inaccuracies, if you're ever playing chess and you analyze your own games, inaccuracies are important, and you should try to stamp them out. But the engine is the best player in the world that has ever lived. So you definitely shouldn't, like, don't beat yourself up over it. If you're better than I am, you might do, but when you're getting started, like, even just getting a few of these nice, excellent moves or best moves is a lovely little boon. So I just want to see you. We're kind of looking out for the red and the orange. Those are the blunders or mistakes. So inaccuracy, inaccuracy. So both of us played pretty well. There wasn't a huge, like, there was no big gaffes. That was a mistake, actually. So when we did this big risky thing, you also see the eval bar here, the evaluation bar. This will go up and down based on who the computer thinks is winning. If it's more black, it'll say black minus. Black is always a minus score here. And if white has a better chance of winning. And then the number indicates, like, it's a weird unit of winningness, but it's like how many pawns are you ahead? I think even taken into your position. So, while I made a mistake in bringing my knight up, generally that means there was a way that they could have avoided all of this, or else it means that the other move I would have made would have been better. Knight in there is another mistake. The rook taking was okay. Queen c4, what we considered, was alright too. Rook took, queen took. So this was by no means a bulletproof plan, but we were way ahead, or 2.5 ahead on the eval bar. That was a blunder, and now we had mate in 4, which we did not take, and it would have been to, oh, mate in 4. That was a very risky one. So it's telling us, actually, if we take this knight with the queen, then they have mate in 4. Because if we do this, then they can either, if they take with this pawn, then this would have been mate. So that was interesting. Anyway, we can dig into this. We can pore over these games for hours. But there's more. There's more Malubicrons out there to be playing. And let's play another one. Hopefully we'll get to play the Queen's Gambit this time. We're at 1386. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm happy with that. Let's go full screen. Let's get the real chess experience. Chess experience. No, we're the dark pieces again. Black pieces. And they have not played the Queen's Gambit. And we didn't play the Sicilian. What are we doing? I'm all over the road because, well, no excuses. But I have not. I was gearing up to play the Queen's Gambit. No. Yeah, that is just, it's foolish. So they have, this is a version of the fried liver attack, I want to say, which we'll do here. I think I do have one counter to this attack, which is this. Yeah, got ourselves in a whole mess of trouble right out of the gate here. Probably from all the nonsense. That's how we live. Live and let large. Hey Laura, it's me. Sometimes, not so much this attack, because they just did this fine. I just should have opened better. I just didn't know what to do. I actually just haven't prepped any e4, e5 openings with black, and just always play the Sicilian. But sometimes if your opponent does like a really cheesy thing, like the Scholar's Mate is one, where you can like, you can checkmate somebody in like 4 moves. The Fool's Mate is another, which is like 2 moves, I think. That's called cheesing, I think, if they go for one of these like tricky, trappy openings. This isn't one of those. This is a pretty well renowned opening attack that I just I was too flustered. I was too sweaty to stop it. And we're paying the sweaty piper now. We deserved it. Halo has been. I have that one word of that song stuck in my head, or one line of the song, if you will, and it's frustrating, but it's a great song, by a great singer, a man who I think's name, I think his name is Gregory or potentially Greg Porter. Just look him up here. Yes, Gregory Porter. He's an American singer, songwriter, and an actor. But he has the most beautiful voice, tremendous voice, that you should all check out. He's a wonderful, wonderful singer. All right then. Back to the matter at hand. And that matter is this game of chess. We've kind of stymied this attack, but that's not to say we're out of the woods by any means. We are down a pawn, and not overly chuffed with that state of affairs. Very messy game. Really, definitely some scope for an error. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna castle. Gonna lose this pawn as well, but to be honest, it's been not my proudest game, is what I'll say. But that, look, just because we're down right now, don't mean we're going to be down forever. I mean, we're down 2 pawns, but this bishop is really struggling to get into the game back here. You can come here, but yeah, it's not the cleanest one. Let's make sure that doesn't happen now. Might need something to go our way here. But if we ever do get to play as the white pieces again, we'll have a look at the Queen's Gambit, where you can not do what I did and fluff your lines in the opening immediately, and actually have a pretty solid base for the rest of the game. What I might like to do is something like this. Let's just get the queen involved. He is potent attacker. And I feel like if we're going to win this one, we better win it quick, because they have enough of a material advantage that they could just start chipping away. Again, this move primarily just to keep this square open. have a huge game plan just yet. But I think some sort of crash through here. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. Okay, basically they have enough now to just go bosh, 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 bosh. That's actually not stupid effective. I don't know why, but I feel like this knight takes. Yeah, knight takes. That's all there is to that one. If we start the fire, contrary to what Billy Joel might say, we start the fire ourselves. Celibacy. Maria, you know you must stop. I think just because the queen is second in the barrage here, and we do have an escape square for now, I'm just gonna tiddlywink around here for a bit, and hopefully they make a mistake in this attack. You give a man enough rope and all that, and he'll hit you really hard with that rope, and you'll regret it. You should have kept that rope for something more useful, as the saying goes. This is a good move. Gets the knight involved. Threatens the queen. Lovely stuff. I think taking with the bishop is going to be our operation here. I feel like this bishop just needs to stay here. Let's do a little cheeky mate threat for no reason. Took with the pawn. I don't know if I'd hold much stock there. Take with the pawn blocks this whole barrage in. I just assumed they were going to take with the rook. They do get to undouble their pawns. And listen, they've got two pawns marching down the center of the board here. Oh yeah, they have blunder. Blunderful. My idea here being knight here, queen here. A very stupid, probably a pretty cheesy move, guys. To just try and catch him off guard. Sort of probably should have seen that this move was really weird and not that good. I think maybe it was class, but by doing this, completely forgot that this barrage is not just operating on this axis alone. They still can do all the moves that they can normally do. So we've dropped another knight there. We're 5 points back. Which is less than ideal. It's below, it's suboptimal. And Yeah, we really didn't need that. Really didn't need that. We are in a halfpenny place. But I definitely don't want to keep trading off material if I can avoid it. So let's do this. No major rhyme nor reason. Just wanted to get the bishop out on this side of the board. These pawns advancing, very menacing. Not as menacing as the Alekine's gun, that's called. I think when you've got, I think even just rook, queen, I think is Alekine's gun. Where basically you just line them all up and you just fire them. Deceptively, or not deceptively, very simple, very hard to stop if they can spend the time to get it all ready. It's a bruiser, and I think I was more afraid of that than all the rest of the chess moves that were feasible. Hey Lola, it's me. Now again, was just about to put my bishop here. Would have been gobbled up twice, 3 times, and we've got one defender. So that would have been what's known as a bad chess move. Let's try and make the teeniest little gun of our own. I like Gunnar Solskjaer. United are playing West Ham in the Cup tonight. My mother Mairead is a big West Ham fan, so she's up for them. I myself like Man United, so I'm up for them. I'm going to check the score. I'm going to try not react in case you're waiting for match of the day or whatever. Yeah, very easy not to react, which is a clue in and of itself to what the score is. Now we've seen that our opponent, the Russian Markov, out of Russia, named Markov, is capable of some odd moves. So let's not forget that. Right. So once again, just want to find a safe square for this bishop. Here is technically safe. Dead, 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 dead. Alive, but at what cost? Nothing happening over here. Yeah, this is probably best. I'm imagining this move pretty soon. Take. Doesn't even have to take back and just crash in here with one bish, two bish, three bish. So just about have enough resources to defend all this. But they've done well to get everybody into the game. Hmm. Hey, Laura. The reason I did this is because if bishop comes in here, that we actually lose the queen. Probably going to lose it now in a second. There's probably some moves they can do here to make that happen. Dooley, giving it large in the chat. I will happily play, Dooley. I'll give you a game after this lad whoops me. We're running out of good moves here, so let's make it a bad one. Dualsatronic, if you can't hear me, I am. Alright, happy days. We are on a small bit of a lag, but that's okay. So yes, what we're going to do is, as soon as this wraps up, I think you added me on chess.com earlier on, so I'll send you a wee invite. Julie, I think I'm actually going to play the Queen's Gambit against you, because I haven't got the chance to yet. And I'm jonesing. Je suis jonesing. So if you don't mind, Julie, I might send you an invite, or I'll be the white pieces, because I think you can do that on when you're playing your mates. I will have an advantage, but it's an instructional moment, Matthew. Whew, I thought they nearly gave the game away there. Just trying to see, they do have King's Coffin, as we mentioned, the back rank, where if we get any check in there that cannot be stopped, is game over. We'll do this anyway, hey. And we'll follow it up with something like this. Clutching at straws here. This is how we do it. Well, if you're gonna give me the queen, I'll take the queen. No questions asked. And if it weren't for this pawn, we'd be bloody back in the game, I tell you. Let's take here anyway. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think they really, really biffed that. No way to stop here. If I come back rook, it's taken and a queen. So let's just take our pieces, make them do it. Let's make him put us to the sword. Now what I try to do here is get rid of all my pieces as quickly as possible to trigger a stalemate. Is that mate? That is not quite mate. It's just about to be. Oh, they can take my rook. Okay, perfect. That's one less piece we need to worry about being able to move. Go on, take it. No, that's me. Alright, good game. Garbage opening. But that's fine. 4 mistakes, 1 blunder. Take your pick, really. But yeah, still no Queen's Gambit. Alright, Dooley. Throwing the ball over to you. Play a friend. Not yet. Dooley. I'm hoping that's you. I play as white. I'm gonna do this, Dooley. We can play another game as black afterwards. We'll do a 5-minute game, Doolsy. And we can do a rematch then if we so choose. Alright. Sending you the invite. Oh, he's accepted straight away. So Dooley, generally what I say here is to pause your video so that you can watch the playback. But if you want to get a peek inside what I'm thinking, I'm not opposed to it either. You gonna make a move, bruv? There it is. Okay, I'm gonna put this on the widescreen viewing. Don't even think this counts as a Queen's Gambit because this would need to come out twice, but I'm sure, look at the concepts are the same. Yeah, no Queen's Gambit this time. We looked at it at the start of the video, so listen. We've gotten our fill. I'm just gonna try to gum up the gears here for Mr. Dooley. And now we'll start to get some piecing out. If he cheeses me, bro, better not be cheesing me. That's a good move. Bishop out. So, Matthew, I can't remember. We might have played chess as kids. And maybe it was great. I can't quite remember. I know we played Gary a good bit. The huckster. Nice little move, Matthew. Right. I don't know what opening I'm playing or what I'm not doing. But I don't like him having his queen in his hands. No, I'm getting away from fundamental chess here. I don't like how I'm playing. I'm trying to force that Queen's Gambit thing. Just trying to hook in those that Netflix money. But yeah. I feel like Dooley thought he won that queen there for free. He did not. There was a knight move here that helped save the day. Oh, he'd want to be careful here. He'd certainly want to be careful here. And he wasn't. This is a fork. King's in check. Rook's gonna fall. No, he didn't. He's better at chess than that. Apologies for the disrespect, Mr. Dooley. Hey, Laura, it's me. I'll take that trade all day. All day. Gotta get my pieces out. I am in dire straits here. Where's he gonna go? Nowheresville. Hey Laura, it's me. Hope you're keeping well though, Matthew. Hope you're enjoying the fruits of our late 20s. Let's be real here. Hope they're going well for Woody. Something like a banana. You know what? Do you know what? I'll just take. So this is a very, very lax position I'm playing here. It's not something I'd advise. I think we're just going to castle long here. Castle knock. I am indeed, Matthew. I'm in fine fettle. Lost 10 kilos from last Christmas. If you remember when we all took our cumulative weight. Yeah, lost 10 full kilos. So I'm but a waif these days. I'm floating away. Which honestly feels great. You can run faster. Hey Laura, it's me. Anyone else in the chat fancying a game as well, please do feel free to add podcasts on chess.com. We can have a quick 5-minute game. You might be much better than me, like Adam Sweeney was last week. Or you might be just doing your best. Both are fine ways to play chess. It's a wonderful game. Dooley, our mutual friend Stephen Beale, actually got into chess. I want to say off the back of these videos, I'm not gonna say it was exclusively that. I think he knew the rules already. Bish. One thing I will say, there's no kitty gloves. No kitty gloves on chess, please. We play to win, and we play to win every match. We don't win most of them, but I'm out here looking for dubs. N dubs. And unless something goes horribly wrong here, Matthew, I think we might have another one on our hands. But again, that is absolutely nothing against your character. You're starting up the beautiful game again. You might have played a bit as a kid, getting back into it. That's what the channel's all about. Reigniting that, what can become an addiction pretty quickly. The old chess. It's just very, very enthralling sometimes. Hey Laura, it's me. What's your time there, Matthew? You're all good, but something to be conscious of. This is a move I like to call a Kevin De Bruyne move. So if you ever watch Kevin De Bruyne attacking for Manchester City, one of the things that he does very well is bring more attackers into the game. Whether that's, I don't even know who's playing fullback for them these days, Kyle Walker or your man Mendy. Kevin De Bruyne, very, very good at just making the pass that's not necessarily the most incisive. David Silva does it very well as well. Just bring another fella into the match. You know you must have. And this. This. One on time. Stole one off you, Dooley. Stole it. But thank you for swinging by. GG. GG WP. Can go one more, or we can go and play somebody from the unwashed masses again. But thank you very much, Matthew. It didn't go your way. The opening was the weirdest thing ever. Might have said maybe stake a bit of a claim on the middle here. You did too, not too badly here. I don't know what this opening's called, but yeah, it was a tricky one. You catch me next week. Kill Vic, I think, has cruised on into the Chatterino, and I'd be more than happy to give you a game. So let me. I think we're palsies. If you're good to go, I'll send you now Linkerino. What's your username there, lad? Is it Killing Victory? How many Killing Victories are knocking around? But yes, I'd love to give you a matchup, a match champ. I don't want to invite this game and end up playing some other lad called Kill Vic. Sorry, we'll take it to the short messaging service here. Hey Laura, it's me. It might well be Killing Victory. In which instance I probably should just send this invite. Unless he's dropped off the face of the planet. I might make this my last game of the evening. So Kill Vic. Again, I can't remember when we were chatting the other day. I think you said you played a bit before. But if not, Radio Silence. He might be on the Jiminy Johnson, which he has every right to be. Great place to play chess, actually. The turlet. Not a whole lot else going on. Killing Victory, it is him. Let's throw down. Okay, very, very close rated. So Vic, you're a handy enough player. If you don't mind, Vic, I'll play as white. I just want to get one bloody Queen's Gambit. Actually, I'll just accept the challenge. Let's see what happens. Right. Let's go for it. Kill Vic. Very tidy player. Let's be having you. Bush. Going full screen. Okay. Now we're talking. Queen's Gambit accepted is what it's called. This is the Gambit. This is the acceptance. I'm just going to take a piece of that pie. And we'll get the Bukali out. But I'm not gonna, and again, Dooley, no disrespect, Not going to toy with my prey here. There's very big potential for taking the L on this one. And I know we say that every week, and every week it's true. Some sort of fancy Dan stuff here. Fancy Daniel. Ooh, I had a little move. I could have done. I know, he would have just. But if I had done this, then this is actually check, which means that needs to be resolved. The only way to do that is to block it. This, move him, which wouldn't be that advisable. Or block it with the knight, which puts him right back in trouble. Could have got the knight for free. We're going to get a pawn at least for our troubles. That's annoying. Too quick off the draw. If you're sticking around, chess please, and you haven't smashed that subscribe button, it makes me feel good when I see the subscriber number go up. I don't plan to monetize anytime soon or anything like that, but I don't know. Talking gibberish and having people listen is a weird hobby of mine. You guys heard podcasts? It's a class. Shout out Steve Beale, Gary Milligan. We had a beautiful thing. So much fun. Hey Laura, it's me. It's alright, that's alright. Let the river of your love flow uphill to me. Gregory Porter. Can't advise it highly enough. For your Tuesday, and I dare say it, any day listening. Sunday in particular, actually. Let's get this Kalinois into the game. What's going on here? We've taken. I don't know if you had enough to do that, mate. Rook on the loose. The Rookie Horror Picture Show. Used that one before. Gonna use it again. Same with Chessie Lingard. That was another garbage pun I've used before. What's happening here? Let's just blunt this a little bit. I see you. I see you back here, Killian. Let the rivers of your love flow up in. Kind of feeling the time pressure, which is testament to the victory. Let the rivers of your love flow up into me. And finally the bishop can enter the game. Hope everybody got their tickets to the Alakine Gun Show. You. don't even know if that's it. I think it might have to be rook, 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 rook. Do we have enough to take here? I think we do. We've got one, and then bish, and then bosh, and then bosh. We do have enough. It's tricky stuff. It all happened there in about 14 seconds. But there was just pressure building on the center here. Oh, he's gone for it there. Just to complete the sequence of events. Crazy amount of pressure. We'll have a quick look at this game afterwards because it was, yeah, just all total gridlock, man, in the center of the board. Let's do this, man. Could have taken here. In retrospect, might have. It's time. Now it's time. That's unlucky, Vic. That's what happens. And now you go for the stalemate. So one thing, if you find yourself in this position, which I might not do here, is don't be in too big of a hurry to mop up all their pieces, because sometimes what can happen is you just make it more likely that a stalemate will take place. You definitely don't want to let them get a passed pawn or anything if you can avoid it, but like you just sort of want them to have another move, an inconsequential move across the board some way, so that yeah, push comes to shove, they can make a different move that isn't a king move, so that you don't lose the game. We'll do something like this. That's not bad. Just get the king back in there. No leaving your little coffin. And that's mate, unfortunately, for a valiant and a very, very interesting game, Vic. We'll go through it. It was a 5-minute game. I think we could definitely get an L 10-15 on. Probably next week at this stage, if I'm being honest with you. So finally a Queen's Gambit. Thank you, Vic, for obliging me there. We went, he accepted the Gambit. Risky enough thing to do. We generally lose a lot of control over the middle. But that said, the pressure started building. Again, a lot of Kevin De Bruyne passes in here. Pieces coming into the game. Don't know about that move. I guess it's probably preparing for this. There's a great grandmaster called Ben Feingold, who is an angry middle-aged man, but he calls us to forget about a pawn, the F pawn. Never play F6 or F3 down here. Just opens you up to a couple of attacks later on. In this case, it just more so blocks in your knight, which is a little bit annoying. But that's a good move. And then with this, You just sort of want to, if we can get this kind of interlocking spurs, if you remember your geography. Good game, by the way, Vic. Again, I can't stress that enough. It was tricky. Very, very tricky. Interlocking spurs. If you can do this, but camp it in their half. So, again, your half, if you're the white pieces, goes up to the 4th rank. Their half starts at the 5th rank. If you can have pawns just entrenched in their half, really, really annoying. And again, here, knight comes forward just to get the heck out of dodge. Maybe here might have been better, but it's all much of a muchness. Again, this is where we had this nice little tactic. We went here. Oopsie, oopsala. Chess.com is a little weird, but that's fine. So rather than playing this pawn move, if I did queen out here, this knight would have fallen for free. As it happened, Kill was able to salvage just a 1 pawn loss. Sorry, would have grabbed this knight for free. But Kill was able to reduce it down to just 1 pawn loss. All very good, very standard, or nice play. And again, Vic had accepted, or Kill had accepted the Gambit, so he was a pawn up anyway. Get castled, bishop comes in, chased away, took the knight there. I'd probably stay, well, you can kind of drop back here with this bishop and it'll just make it very annoying, because then if I chase you up with this pawn, bishop can drop back here, and this is a good pawn to attack the base of a pawn chain, and now my protection, my king, is all a scupper. Whereas this is just kind of a flat trade and I still have my piece developed, so we're all good. This is a great move, just another piece in here to sort of unsteady my rock hard center in here. Got the rook across just to fight fire with fire there. One too early there, I would say. Or just one piece too few on the attack in front. Again, maybe something like queen up to prevent that, or just take back there if that happens, and then you can bring your rook across, just get another piece on the front there. So a little too soon there, and it started to cause problems, not only from that exchange, but again, just still have control of the center here, so I can start moving my pieces in here, and just kind of dictate the play again. King castle here was sort of best you could do. Yeah, it was a rough situation already beyond this point, and then just mowed down, and then yeah, got the king up the board, which is a good call. As soon as it gets into endgame, when most of the pieces are off the board, you want to your king just becomes an extra attacker. There's fewer things to checkmate the king, and the king is actually a very versatile moving piece. But just too little too late, I'm afraid. But thank you very much for the game, and it was a lot of fun. And to Matthew Dooley, thank you to everyone who's tuned in, either tonight live, hope you enjoyed it, smash that subscribe button, or if you're watching this anytime in the future, please do the same. Again, it's a pure ego boost that I enjoy, and that's why we do it, really. And also to share the beautiful game. If you're having a crack at getting up and going in chess.com and you want to have a pop at the big dog, I'm ready to be popped at. Pop right on me. And on that cheerful and erotic note, we'll end the stream. This has been Chess Please. My name is Andy. Tune in next week at 8 PM for some more of this. Ciao, ciao. End.